Welcome back. Well, I am not alone today. Guess who's in my lap? And it looks like he wants to be part of the video. And this is unusual for him lately. Lately, he has been just uh, absolutely avoiding the videos like the plague. But it seems that he wants to be in it today. So I'm taking that as a good sign. You want, come here, come here. I will pick you up and you can look at everybody and they can look at you. Oh, honey, pick up your face. Now, and now I have cat hair in my nose. Okay, I wanted to do a little follow-up on what we were dealing with last week, talk a little more about fantasy shopping, building a wardrobe, using our wish lists, and I also wanted to talk a little about color. Because some of you had said, oh, what about choosing your colors? So I did some research for you, and we'll talk about that when we come back. So, I thought I would start off talking about my wish list. Now, if you'll recall, I keep a folder of things I'm thinking about buying, and if I have not decided against it, in 5 weeks' time, I buy it. And after that, in the comments, people were saying, well, 5 weeks, it'll be gone. No, that's me. I am a very slow decision maker. And yeah, it takes me 5 weeks on average to decide if I want something. And I know, it's a wonder I get anything done. But fortunately, I don't have to do that in other aspects of my life, just in terms of purchases. And that is because I've made some very stupid impulse purchases in the past. I've regretted it. So I've actually come up with a formula to keep me from doing it in the future. And that is my avoid the difficulties of impulse buying sort of program that I have inflicted upon myself. For you, putting an item in your wish list for 3 days might be enough for you to realize whether or not you like the item. That just, gosh, 3 days and I'm still shaking my head saying, do I or don't I? So I did want to clarify that I am not advocating anyone else should take 5 weeks to make a decision. It's possible, unlikely, but possible that some of you out there might take even longer than I do. If you do, I want to hear from you because it will make me feel better. But the fact is, I know I am just a complete sluggard when it comes to decision making. I know this. But I was sharing with you what works for me. Please, don't feel you have to do this. I would be doing you a great disservice if I started spreading some of my rather serious dysfunctions out into the community. So, like I say, maybe it'll take you a few days, maybe not even, but you choose a system that works for you. So, back to my wish list. When we talked about it, I showed you a blue sweater, and this is the sweater, and it was one that caught my eye. And I thought, oh, I like that sweater. And I kept thinking about it and went back to the online catalog, pulled the sweater, and stuck it in my wish list. Now, my fear, of course, and again, I mentioned this, my fear is that I grabbed that sweater simply because I was looking at cream and off-white cardigans. Cream, and suddenly blue crossed my path. And psychologically, we are all predisposed to want the one that's different. It's just the way our minds work. And by the way, this is not just my opinion. This is a fact. This is something that psychologists have done a great deal of work on. So they know we tend to instinctively grab the one that's different. You know, vanilla ice cream, vanilla ice cream, vanilla ice cream, chocolate. And you grab the chocolate, even if you don't really like it all that much. It's just how we're wired. But after looking at my wish list and sharing it with all of you last weekend, I realized that blue sweater is going. It's leaving my wish list, and I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I pretty much decided that, I just really liked it. It's a very pretty sweater, but I will not get enough use out of it in my wardrobe to justify a $120 purchase. There was another sweater in my wish list, and here it is. This is a Hugo Boss. It's pullover, what we would call a tennis sweater, what the British call a cricket sweater. And cricket sweater, by the way, is becoming the common term for this kind of sweater. It's a V-neck pullover with contrasting colors, usually around the neckline and the cuffs. So, yeah, I always thought of it as a tennis sweater, but I guess the Brits have taken over. They did that with the Beatles back in the 60s. What can I say? Sometimes it works out. We have to cross our fingers and hope this one works out too. This sweater also left my wish list. And as I was removing it, and I had to because they're sold out. So even if I want it, I can't have it. And as I moved it out of my wish list, and I was thinking to myself, gee, I really, really did want that sweater. Now, and this is probably a great self-indulgence because the sweater is $174. On the other hand, it's Hugo Boss, which means it usually retails for somewhere in the range of $350. So it was a really good deal. Gosh, I sound like my mother would drive on the other side of town. She would, 7-8 miles she'd drive to save 3 cents on a can of peas. I'm turning into my mother. That's what's happening. You throw a good enough deal at me and it's like, oh, gimme, gimme, gimme. But I went back to the Hugo Boss site and found this sweater. And I bought it. And the reason I bought it, and I know, impulse, I should have thrown it in my wish list for 5 weeks, but I had the other sweater. And I knew I wanted it. And this is just sort of the flipped version of that sweater. Additionally, I had 2 other sweaters, these 2, in my wish list for at least 4 or 5 weeks. So, I'm not fully committed to the purchase because fortunately, Hugo Boss is a good company, major purveyor of fine goods. So they have a free returns, no questions asked, pack it up, send it back to them, and they're done. So I have that sort of waiting in the wings. If I don't really like it when I get it, I can send it back. And then I have 2 other sweaters in my wish list in the same color range. So as you can see, I want a sweater in this color. Otherwise, I wouldn't have 3 of them in my wish list. But if the Hugo Boss sweater stays, and I hope it does, then the other 2 will leave my wish list. And hopefully I will be very happy. Also, the 2 other, I'll show you those 2. Here they are. These are just 2 other tennis sweaters that I had thrown into my wish list just in case I wasn't able to get the first one I saw. All right, so all of that, boy, that was a long ramble about sweaters. But I did, in fact, buy one, and my suggestion, so the takeaway I want to give you is, if you see something and it's in your wish list for a long period of time and things just like it are in your wish list for a long period of time and you find it on sale, well, grab it because you know you want it. And I know I want this one. And the fact is that even though it's a pricey sweater, it's not overly pricey for comparable quality. This is wool and mohair. It's Hugo Boss. Yeah. And ordinarily, I don't go too nuts over designer labels. By the way, by the end of this video, you're really going to be scratching your head and saying, oh, really, don't you? Because I do have another designer label I'm going to throw at you. But I like it, got it, and we'll see. So my fingers are crossed because if this sweater works out, in other words, when I see it in the flesh, if it is as nice as I believe it is, then this is going to deal with my need for a good camel sweater for a long time. I don't have to worry about it. The other sweaters I had in my wish list were probably not the same quality level, certainly not the same price tag. So we'll see. But yes, sometimes that wish list allows you to make a quick purchase. And that's what it did for me. So, wish list still there. And I want to talk about how it is that my wish list will have been absolutely chock full of camel colored sweaters. A lot of you had spoken about getting your colors done and how important this may or may not be. So I have been doing research for you, and spoiler alert, by the time we're done with this, I am going to be able to direct you to a link that will give you, well, the link will be in the notes under the video notes, a link that will do your colors for you. 5 questions, so like literally less than a minute of your time, and then they'll mail you your color palette. And no strings attached. It puts you on their mailing list, but you can unsubscribe quickly and easily. And it was put out by a YouTuber. I'll give you all of her information. So in order to say thank you, just go check out a couple of her videos. You might find them interesting. But yeah, free color palette. And the reason I'm giving you this one is because I always check these things out first. I wouldn't send you somewhere if I didn't believe they were good. So before I get into that, let me just show you what my most recent purchases have been. So here we go. These were 5 t-shirts, basically. They are linen blend t-shirts, and I grabbed 5 of them, including black, and including this one that I am wearing, which is that black t-shirt, and black is not my color. So why would I buy something knowing full well it's not my color? Linen blend, $10.80 per piece. Oh, and that includes taxes, shipping, everything, just net, $10.80 for a linen blend t-shirt that is definitely nice enough to wear, out into the world, not just sitting around the house doing the dishes or scratching the cat. But black is really not my color, so I do want to say that. I also went over to another online site and grabbed a few more linen t-shirts. These are 100% linen. I grabbed these t-shirts, and they're more expensive. They were just under $18 each. More expensive, 100% linen, and those are for my workout walking clothing. The reason for that, and because it's necessary, I need something that's very, very breathable because the temperature will get well over 90 here in the summer. And at that point, you're just roasting in the sun. So I need something that's really, really heat friendly. And that's 100% linen. So grab those. So you see the t-shirts? I'll put them all together for you so you can take a look. Now, in the top section, you have black, which I just told you is not my color. In the bottom section, and this is at the lower right corner, white. White is not my color either. These are two neutrals that look like crap on me. They really do. They just wash me out. And so keep that in mind. When people say, oh, you should always have black in your wardrobe, you should always have white in your wardrobe. No, you have black in your wardrobe if it looks good on you. You have white in your wardrobe if it looks good on you. My defaults are not black or white. On the other hand, I did grab them. I grabbed this one, $10.80. That's why I grabbed this one. And I grabbed the other one because just basically as a workout shirt that will also double as an undershirt under a sweater, I figured it was worthwhile. And at $18 for 100% linen, it was a good deal. So I had a method to the madness. But that method was not, oh, I'm going to put this on and I'm going to look fabulous and everybody's going to say, Sue, you look terrific. No, people are going to say, Sue, are you sick? You know, what's wrong? You're not feeling well, are you? Because it just washes me out. But having said that, I did want to show you this. All right, black shirt. I can force my way into black just by putting another color around my neck. I chose this one. Oh, and here, this is what I meant when I said, oh, look, yeah, you're going to think I'm designer crazy. Louis Vuitton, very, very fancy, la, la, la. But that's just one. That's not my favorite. This one is. If I want to throw a scarf on, this is going to be my number one choice over the fancy Louis Vuitton piece. And this one, Dollar Tree, $1. You don't have to go crazy over it. All you have to do is just find a scarf you like. I like this one. And I can force my way into black just by throwing something in between my face and the black. And it makes it much easier. So let's move over to the color analysis. I went over to this site because I just searched everywhere for color analysis that would be quick. Quick was important because I don't expect you to spend an hour doing this. You've got lives, you've got things to do. I don't know. I've got to pet a cat, so I know my time is precious. So does the cat. I wanted it to be quick. I wanted it to be accurate. And I wanted it to be free. Because the idea of paying someone for this, someone charging you for this, not okay. So that's how I found this. It is from a YouTuber named Diana Goss, and I will put her contact information, well, not her contact information, but her channel information. So go check out a couple of her videos. She is an over 40 woman who is doing fashion videos on YouTube. And she had this wonderful little color analysis that she was throwing out. So let me just very quickly show you the palette that little color analysis gave me. Now, here are the colors. As you can see, it's a range of, I don't know, I look at them, it's almost tropical colors. I mean, I'm seeing mango and guava and all these really interesting, bright, citrusy sort of colors. And my first thought when I saw this palette was, oh, that's not me. And then I went back, grabbed the photos of all of those tops I had just purchased. So take a look. This is the first set, the set with the black t-shirt in it. As you can see, these are the colors I go for. These are the colors I am buying. And let's look at the second batch of t-shirts. Again, with the exception of the white, these are the colors I go for. They are the ones I am buying. So, did they hit it on the head? Yeah, I think they did. I really do. I do not know if these are the colors that look best on me. I know the proof is in the pudding, because these are the colors I am buying. Those were my last top, t-shirt purchases. So, what can I say? It's what I'm buying. It's what I'm going for. That's my taste. So, that's why I'm sharing the link with you, because it worked for me. It really did give me the very colors that, left to my own devices, I'm going after. So, take a look, and this may help you with your shopping purchases. Now, keep in mind, if you find something that you love and it doesn't fit your color palette, you don't have to just say, oh, I won't buy this. Go ahead. Like, seriously, go ahead. I bought black and white t-shirts, right? And because I have a purpose for them, I have a use for them. I have the option of forcing my way into a black fit or forcing my way into a white fit. And that white t-shirt is probably eventually just going to become an undershirt, a nice linen undershirt. And I'll be very happy with that, especially in the winter. It doesn't necessarily have to be the piece I am wearing outermost on my outfit. So anyway, I did want you to have a chance to take a look at this, because if for no other reason, what it will do, it'll do for you what it did for me, which is confirm that somebody else thinks I'm making the right color choices, which, gosh, makes me feel good, because I'm usually not very good with color choices. At least I didn't think I was. Turns out I am. So, that's out there. Now, I did want to say a word about Diana Goss. I don't know her, just watched a few of her videos. She seems to me to be a lot more sensible than most of the people out there who are giving advice. And part of the problem with going on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or wherever it is that these people are telling you how to dress is that, one, the overwhelming majority of them are young women, somewhere between maybe 25 and 35 years old, young women. And they have their own styles and their own notion of what is fashionable that doesn't necessarily resonate with people over 50. It does not resonate with me. That's problem number one. Problem number two, very few of them, if any, have any legitimate skills or training. I've listened to watched videos from people saying, well, I'm trained as a color analyst. Okay, by whom? At what university can you get a bachelor's degree in color analysis? I mean, what does that mean? That means they took a course somewhere from someone just like them who was probably self-taught, because they, in fact, are teaching these same courses, and a lot of what's going on in their videos is encouraging people to sign into their very expensive color analysis courses. So that's number two. It's really a question of what are their qualifications for telling you this. And in general, with these influencers, I can come up with none. And I will say this, one of my favorites to watch is in fact a Canadian pharmacist. Well, okay, but being a Canadian pharmacist does not qualify you to tell people how to dress. It absolutely qualifies you to compound their medications, but given the fact that I wouldn't hand my prescription over to the average fashionista, I don't know if I'm going to hand my wardrobe over to the average pharmacist. I enjoy watching her videos, by the way. They're fun, they're interesting, they're fun, they're interesting. Frankly, I think she dresses like a bag lady. I got to be honest with you. I just look at the way she dresses and think to myself, oh, honey, you really, really need to change out of those torn jeans. And I know that gives away my age, but the point is she's a very pretty young woman, and I hate to see her dressing like a bag lady. But again, giving away my age. One of the things I like about Diana Goss and the people like her who are older and doing this, they are not pushing the young trends. So if you want to see some fashion choices for more mature women, by the way, that is a new phone that is programming itself. So nothing is going on except the phone is self-amusing. You know, they're getting very, very smart these days, and I do worry about it when they start taking too much on themselves. So I will look at it out of the corner of my eye, but I'm going to let it continue doing what it's doing. Anyway, I think for women over the age of 40, it doesn't do any good to listen to the young fashionistas because they are dressing for a completely different world. And to be honest with you, I'm quite certain they would look at outfits that I think are polished and business appropriate and say, oh my goodness, that is so outdated. Just the same way I look at them and say, oh honey, you look like you pulled that out of the trash. Different strokes for different folks. But anyway, I thought it would be a good idea to throw some of this out to show you the wish list in action and to see if we couldn't get some color information for you. And keep in mind, you can go over there and take the color analysis just for the pure sport of it, even if you have absolutely no interest in using that to help you choose clothing for yourself. Just go, check it out, have some fun with it. But it might actually be able to help you choose colors that will look good on you. And given the fact that our overarching goal in all of this is to gradually move our butts out of the house and back into society, and certainly dressing appropriately is a big part of that, getting us out of the sweatpants and fuzzy slippers. So why not have fun with it? This is probably going to be one of the more entertaining vehicles for outward mobility that we will encounter in this whole series. So let's have a good time. Now, meantime, I will let you know when the sweater comes in. I'll let you know, if I like it, and I hope I do. I'll let you know if I'm going to send it back. And again, I hope that doesn't happen. And then we will talk about what's going to happen to the rest of those very pretty camel sweaters in my wish list. Because how many of those do you need? Do you need 1,000 camel sweaters? I don't think so. I have a scarf that'll go nicely with it. But do I need that? No, I do not. One will do it. And if I can get that tennis sweater, which was my first choice, rather than just an ordinary V-neck pullover, I'll be very happy. If I can get that lovely designer label on it, well, so much the better. But truly, I don't think, as I say, I really love this scarf. Wear it to death. If it had a designer label, that designer label would be Dollar Tree Special. And this one, this one is lovely. But this is the sort of little scarf, actually, it's called a twilly. This is the sort of lovely little twilly that I only wear if I'm going somewhere where I really want to impress people. It's like, take me seriously. I have a designer label on my twilly. Oh, I know that. My goodness, that just sounds so bizarre when it comes out of my mouth. But yeah, and I have to be honest with you, I do like scarves. So I do have some designer scarves, and I get them for all kinds of reasons. I did not pay the outrageous price that one would expect for a scarf like this. No way, because that I won't do. That would be crazy. But when I can get them on super deals, sure, why not? All right, Audie has abandoned me. I don't know where he went to, but he's no longer part of the video. I am glad that he did stop in and say hi, because, you know, when he's out of the videos for too long, people start to wonder where I put him, as if I could put him anywhere. But yeah, he's with us. He's fine. He's happy. So that's what I have for you today. We're going to take a look at a slideshow on the way out. I will see you tomorrow. By then, let's hope that all those of you who are interested in getting your colors done will have taken that quick little quiz, and we'll have something to talk about in the comments. Oh, and do let me know when you take that little quiz. Let me know in the comments. Do you think it's accurate? Because I'm not sure if those are the colors that look best on me. But as you can see, clearly they are the colors I'm buying on my own. Oh, and in case I didn't make it clear, I bought all of those tops long before I took that little color test. Let me know in the comments. Is it working for you? Do you like the colors? Do you feel they'll look good on you? Do you think it was a complete waste of time? Just give me your feedback. And if you enjoyed the little test, if you feel you got any benefit out of it, go on over and check out a few of Diana Goss's videos, because the best way you can say thank you to her for making this available to the greater YouTube community free of charge is to watch a few of her videos, catch a few ads. That will help her out. All right. Have a terrific day. I will see you all tomorrow.